Hey all, this is Mike again, back from the Philippines here about a few months now. I guess it's about a month. Back in Bernie, as you can see behind me, uh, back on my deck here. It's gonna be a beautiful day today, I guess. It rained for the last couple of days, and it's supposed to get more rain, I guess, this evening. But overall, life is good. Had a few medical issues I had to resolve. Like I mentioned, hopefully those are back under control with physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. So I tell you, when you get old, it's always something. All right, let's get to it. Since this is a retirement train and we all talk about what we're doing in our lives, and why not? The question for you is, what's your journey going to be? I've mentioned this several times, but as a government contractor and as a government employee, I used to sit behind my desk in my 50s and wonder what it would be like just to kick back and retire. You know, enjoy the simple life. But I got to tell you, I was fooled into reality. And the reality is this: you don't want to sit around and just do nothing. You're always busy. I got my brother. He's texts me sometimes. He's on the road with his motorhome and traveling around the country, and I'm jealous because, as you all know, those of you that have been watching my channel over the years, well, that fell through for me. But so now we have a home in the Philippines, and we go back and forth. This time I think we'll stay for 4 months. We leave in November. It's the best time of the year to go there. Right now it's storming pretty bad, but from November to March, weather's actually pretty good. So that's our plan. We might not go every year. I know we're going to go this year, but maybe not next year. I'm going to have to, level out what's common sense and probably put some money into the house here. Even though your house is only 5-6 years old, it's always something. Something always pops up, and it's got to get fixed, right? The other day I painted my stairwells after I had it painted a year and a half ago. So this Texas sun, boy, it'll tear you up. It'll tear anything up. So you got to keep it maintained. And plus this year, I think we've got the most water we've received in a long, long time. I'm just saying. It's been raining, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Jesus. We need the rain here in Texas. Back to our, back to our discussion. What's your plan for retirement, and how do you plan on getting there? I had a friend ask me about their personal problems, and here's an analogy, about not having enough money to do this, do that. I said, well, what's your plan? You have to come up with a plan, a strategy to get from point A to point B. And normally it's a straight line. So how are you going to do it? Do you have enough money saved in your 401k, Roth, TSP, 453, whatever you have? Do you have that annotated out for a period of time? Are you at 5 years, 10 years, 15 years into your employment? If you're a military person, you have TSP, and you also have TRICARE. And then when you hit 65, it's TRICARE for life. So your medical is pretty much covered. Most folks on the outside, they're worried about, okay, how am I going to cover my medical? I probably need to stick around, or think they need to stick around till they're 65 to get that Medicare benefit. There's pros and cons to that. I would say that if you put enough money aside medically, or you have some type of HSA or whatever, that may be able to help you support your early retirement goals. That's a big worry for everybody, because you just don't know what's going to happen to you. I've had a few medical scares, and boy, if I didn't have my military health care plan, it'll cost me a lot more money than it actually did. So that's one issue. Medicare is the big one, meaning medical insurance in general. Next issue is how are you going to withdraw your money? In other words, I think you've all heard my sob story again. I sold a lot of stock, $400,000 of stock in one of my Fidelity accounts. Now we still have our IRAs and so forth, so we're fine there, but I sold a lot of stock, so I have $195,000 worth of capital gains. Over 4 quarters, I pay that for the estimated tax on that, and that's what, $75,000 each quarter, or excuse me, $7,500. Sorry, that's a big one. About $7,500 each quarter. Now I'll probably put down a little bit more because there's interest, the NIIT aspect of it. There's interest associated with that, so I'll probably put around $8,000 to try to cover a lot of that up. So $8,000 per quarter. You do the math. You're talking $32,000, but by January of 2027. Not to mention the Irma hit in 2028 that's going to affect me because I went over that threshold. You're talking $650 extra a month just to pay that. That's both my wife and I. That's total $650, $325, I guess, around there, give or take, up and beyond the regular Medicare cost, which by then could be what, $225 a month. So, I tell you, it's not easy. So, we all learn from our mistakes, but those are the things you have to think about when you retire. But let's talk about the general person. Okay, the person retiring, working, 30, 40 years in either the government, factory, a law firm, what have you. And you have your 401k, you have both, a 401k, a traditional 401k, and you have a Roth. Maybe you have an IRA on the outside. So maybe now you're going to think about, how do I consolidate these? How am I going to roll these all into 1 or 2 different products, right? Maybe you're thinking about an annuity. Well, the A word, that's a bad one. Not really. Annuities have come a long way. Does it come with costs associated? Absolutely. But for me, it was all about peace of mind and sleeping at night. Could I have done a lot better with that particular amount of money? Maybe. Maybe so. Right now, over the last 5 years, the market's done extremely well, y'all. And I miss those stocks that I had, those individual stocks that I had separate in my Sandbox account in Fidelity. But you know what? As I age, turning 66 this year, my wife 72, those do not seem as important as they used to. Now, I still have some stock that I'll probably pass on and so forth, but I'm going to spend what I need to spend for my family and enjoy our retirement life. And the Philippines is one of them. Now, you need to figure out how you're going to fund your retirement. If you don't have a pension and you're just thinking about Social Security and withdrawing from your investments, the 4% rule sometimes is not realistic. It's out there. It's antiquated. It was built in the 70s. Even the gentleman that built it has updated his thought process, and maybe you can take out more. And it's based on age, right? It's based on in my opinion, looking at it, it was based on the worst case scenario. So I'm thinking you probably could take out more, but I'm not sure you want to gamble with that type of prospect. Vice doing it yourself and thinking about maybe, especially if you're in your 50s, right? Maybe you're taking out 2%. Maybe you're taking out 2.5%. Then you're thinking, well, damn, that ain't enough. What am I going to do? Maybe you work part-time to enjoy your Social Security. A couple days a week. Again, it depends on your retirement lifestyle. As you all have watched me over the years, mine's been extreme. I've had extreme lifestyles. Wasted a lot of money, learned a lot, and that's why I'm on this channel with y'all. Think things through thoroughly before you do it. I thought I did think things through, but my wife had different plans. Last thing I'll say about this is, and I've mentioned it before, and shame on me, but you need to be on board with your spouse. He or she. You need to understand that you guys need to be on the same page. If you plan on buying a motor home or plan on purchasing a new summer home somewhere, you need to understand of what you both really want. I wasn't really thorough on that, obviously. And here we are. We were fortunate enough to have the money to do these things and make the mistakes. Some of you don't. Some of you won't. So you'll have to be thorough on your discussions and how you manage your income. Because there is no retirement without income, y'all. It's just that simple. You are not going to be able to retire without income. If you're just depending on Social Security and your withdrawals from your investments and all that sort of stuff, you're going to have to be thorough and microscopic. You're going to have to understand how it works, who to see. If you don't have a financial advisor and you're really not sure how to do it, you can talk to AI. I love AI, but you got to verify everything through somebody. Understand where you're going and how you're doing it. Hey, listen, that's all I got for today. I'm back in the swing of things. Hopefully I'll get these videos uploaded soon. Got a few places to go today. In the next few weeks, I'll be in Virginia. My granddaughter's graduating high school, so, well, I'll be seeing her do that and seeing some friends hopefully out there. I wish you all the best. Take care and God bless. This has been the Retirement Train. Hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. Bye.